Have you ever found yourself lying awake at night, wondering if the man you care about truly feels the same way? Does he see you as a fleeting chapter in his life, or as someone he wants by his side forever? These are the questions that keep so many women second-guessing their relationships. And I get it. It's exhausting to pour your heart into someone when you're unsure if they'll show up for you in the way you deserve. Here's the thing. When a man truly cares about you, his actions will speak volumes. No games, no mixed signals, just pure, undeniable evidence of his commitment. But let's address a common misconception. It's not about grand gestures or how much money he spends on you. True care runs far deeper than material displays. The real question isn't whether he showers you with gifts, it's whether he's consistently showing up for you in ways that matter most. In this piece, we're pulling back the curtain on what it truly looks like when a man is all in. You'll discover the 10 undeniable signs that he wants you in his life forever. These aren't vague ideas or cliches, they're practical, observable behaviors that reveal his authentic intentions. By the time you finish reading, you won't just have clarity about where you stand, you'll also have a roadmap to recognizing the kind of love you deserve. Ready to dive in? Let's start with the foundation of any meaningful connection: how he consistently proves his commitment through his actions. 1. He consistently shows his commitment through actions. Picture this. He tells you he loves you, but his actions paint a completely different story. How often have you heard someone say the right words but fall short when it comes to following through? Words are easy, actions require intention, effort, and, most importantly, consistency. A man who truly cares about you will make it crystal clear through the things he does. He won't leave you wondering if you're a priority, he'll show you that you are. It's not just about the big moments like celebrating anniversaries or surprising you with romantic getaways. Those things are lovely, but what truly counts are the everyday actions that demonstrate his reliability and dedication. Does he check in to see how your day is going even when he's swamped with work? Does he make time for you, not out of obligation but because he genuinely wants to? When he says he'll do something, does he actually follow through? These are the signs that his commitment runs deep. But let's be real for a moment. Consistency isn't sexy. It doesn't grab headlines or make your heart race like a whirlwind romance might. Yet, it's the bedrock of a relationship that can stand the test of time. Without consistency, even the most passionate connection will fizzle out. Stoicism teaches us to value what is steady and reliable over fleeting emotions, and the same principle applies here. Ask yourself, is he dependable? Does he make you feel safe emotionally? Because a man who wants you forever knows that trust is earned, day by day, through consistent effort. He doesn't just promise you the world, he builds it with you, brick by brick. And that foundation becomes unshakable because it's rooted in authenticity. Here's the beauty of it. Consistency doesn't mean perfection. He's not going to get it right every time, he's human, after all. But when he slips up, he owns it. He apologizes, learns, and does better. That's another hallmark of genuine care. Accountability. He values your trust enough to protect it, even when it's inconvenient or uncomfortable. Think about your relationship. Are his words and actions aligned? Is he consistently proving his care through the way he shows up for you? These are the questions that will give you clarity. Because when a man truly loves you, his commitment isn't a one-time declaration, it's a lifetime of choosing you over and over again. 2. He puts in continuous effort to nurture the relationship. Think about the last time you felt truly cherished in a relationship. What was it that made you feel so special? Was it a grand romantic gesture? Or was it the small, consistent efforts, the kind that remind you, day after day, that you're deeply valued? When a man truly cares about you and sees a future with you, he doesn't just sit back and hope the relationship thrives on its own. He actively works to nurture it, knowing that love requires effort to flourish. Now, let's clear up a misconception. Effort isn't about constant extravagance or exhausting yourself to please one another. It's about showing up, even when life gets messy, and choosing the relationship, choosing you again and again. Effort looks like prioritizing quality time, even when his schedule is packed. It's sending a thoughtful text in the middle of the day because he wants to make you smile. It's remembering your favorite coffee order or how you like your tea because those little details matter. But here's the catch. Real effort is mutual. A relationship can't thrive if one person is carrying all the weight. If you're the one constantly trying to fix things, initiate conversations, or plan dates, it's time to pause and reflect. The right man for you will meet you halfway and sometimes even go the extra mile when you need him to. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine a man who actively seeks ways to make your life better. He doesn't wait for you to tell him what you need. He pays attention and figures it out. He surprises you by taking care of the things that stress you out, or he shows up unprompted to lend support when you're feeling overwhelmed. That's the kind of effort that separates a fleeting romance from a lasting bond. Effort also means being emotionally available. Relationships aren't all sunshine and roses. There will be challenges. A man who truly cares won't disappear or shut down when things get tough. Instead, he'll lean into the hard conversations, knowing they're necessary to grow together. His love isn't conditional on things always being easy, it's steadfast even in the face of adversity. Think about this for a moment. How many relationships crumble because one or both people stop trying? They take each other for granted, assuming the connection will maintain itself. But love, much like anything worthwhile in life, requires constant care. Stoicism reminds us that our most valuable assets, like love and trust, demand attention and mindfulness to preserve. The right man understands this, and he's committed to putting in the work to keep your bond strong. Does this resonate with you? If it does, take a moment to show your support. Like this video and comment number 1 below if you're vibing with this message. And if you're ready for more insights into love and relationships, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on these powerful truths. The bottom line is this: a man who truly cares about you will never stop trying to make the relationship better. His effort isn't a phase or a performance. It's a reflection of how deeply he values you and the life you're building together. He knows that lasting love isn't something you find, it's something you create every single day. Are you beginning to see how these traits show up in your own relationship, or how they're missing? Stay with me as we uncover even more ways to recognize the kind of love that stands the test of time. 3. He values emotional connection above all else. When a man truly cares about you, he doesn't just fall for your beauty, your charm, or even your intellect, although those might catch his eye initially. What keeps him hooked, what makes him want you in his life forever, is something far deeper: the emotional connection you share. This connection is the heartbeat of a meaningful relationship, and he knows it's what sets you apart from anyone else. But what does it really mean to prioritize emotional connection? It's more than just being able to talk to each other. It's about being understood and feeling safe enough to be vulnerable. A man who values this kind of bond will invest time and energy into truly knowing you, not just on the surface, but down to the core of who you are. He listens when you speak, not just hearing your words, but absorbing their meaning. He remembers the things that matter to you, even if they seem small or trivial. Did you mention a childhood memory that shaped who you are? He'll bring it up later, showing you that your story matters to him. Did you have a hard day? He won't just say, "That's tough." He'll ask thoughtful questions like, "What can I do to make it better?" It's these moments of genuine attention that build the foundation of emotional intimacy. And here's the secret: emotional intimacy isn't just about sharing joy or having deep conversations. It's also about showing up during the hard times. A man who prioritizes your emotional connection won't retreat when you're upset or struggling. He'll lean in, offering comfort and support without judgment. This level of care takes maturity, patience, and self-awareness. It's not something every man is capable of, because it requires a willingness to set aside ego and truly focus on someone else's feelings. This is where stoicism becomes a quiet superpower in relationships. A man rooted in stoicism understands the importance of emotional balance. He knows that being present for you, even in your most vulnerable moments, strengthens the bond you share. Let's dive deeper. Have you ever been with someone who just didn't get you? Maybe you felt unheard or dismissed, as if your emotions were too much or not important enough. It's draining, isn't it? The beauty of a strong emotional connection is that it eliminates this dynamic. When a man truly cares, he makes it clear that your feelings matter. He creates a space where you can express yourself fully without fear of being judged or dismissed. But it's not just about how he responds to your emotions, it's also about how he shares his own. Many men are conditioned to keep their feelings locked away, thinking that vulnerability equals weakness. But the man who values emotional connection understands that sharing his inner world with you is essential. He's willing to let his guard down, showing you the parts of himself that others don't see. This mutual exchange of vulnerability is what transforms a good relationship into an extraordinary one. Here's the flip side. Emotional connection isn't something that just happens overnight. It takes time, trust, and a willingness to dig below the surface. Pay attention to how he engages with you. Does he ask thoughtful questions that go beyond the superficial? Does he make an effort to understand your past, your dreams, your fears? Or is he more focused on what's convenient for him? If you're with someone who struggles to open up or connect on a deeper level, that doesn't mean he doesn't care. But it does mean there's work to be done on both sides. Building emotional intimacy is a two-way street. You have to be willing to show up with the same level of vulnerability and effort that you expect from him. When this connection is strong, it creates something truly special. It's the kind of bond that can weather any storm because it's built on understanding and trust. Physical attraction may fade, and life's challenges may test your relationship, but emotional intimacy is what keeps you grounded. It's what makes you feel seen, heard, and valued in a way that nothing else can. So let me ask you, do you feel emotionally connected to the man in your life? Does he prioritize understanding you over impressing you? These are the questions that reveal whether he's invested in building something that lasts. Because when a man truly values emotional connection, it's not just about how you look or what you do, it's about who you are. And that, above all else, is what he cherishes most. 4. He supports your growth and respects your boundaries. When a man truly cares about you, his love isn't about control or ownership, it's about partnership. He wants to see you thrive, not just as his partner, but as an individual with dreams, goals, and a unique identity. This kind of love is rare and profound because it's rooted in respect. Respect for who you are and for who you're becoming. Let's be honest, not every relationship fosters personal growth. Some partnerships unintentionally stifle it. Have you ever felt like you had to shrink yourself to make someone else comfortable? Or like your ambitions were dismissed because they didn't align with what someone else wanted for you? That's not love, it's limitation. And the man who truly cares about you will never ask you to dim your light so he can shine. Instead, he'll be your biggest cheerleader. He'll celebrate your wins, no matter how small they may seem, and he'll push you to aim even higher. Got a new job opportunity that excites you? He'll encourage you to go for it. Feeling nervous about starting a new project or tackling a personal goal? He'll be the first to remind you of your strengths. His love creates a safe space for you to explore your potential without fear of judgment or failure. But supporting your growth doesn't mean he takes over. A man who truly cares won't try to fix you or dictate how you should grow. He understands that real transformation comes from within. His role isn't to lead your journey, it's to walk beside you, offering support and encouragement every step of the way. Boundaries play a critical role here. A man who respects you will honor the boundaries you set, even if they're inconvenient or challenging for him. He won't push you to do things that make you uncomfortable, and he won't guilt you for prioritizing your well-being. Whether it's needing space to recharge, setting limits on how much time you spend together, or maintaining independence in certain areas of your life, he'll respect your needs without taking them personally. Respecting boundaries also means he doesn't try to control your relationships with others. He won't feel threatened by your friends, your family, or your passions. In fact, he'll take the time to understand why these people and pursuits matter to you. A man who loves you deeply isn't insecure about sharing your attention. He knows that love isn't about possession, it's about connection. Now, let's flip the perspective for a moment. Do you feel like the man in your life supports your growth? Does he respect your boundaries, even when they challenge his comfort zone? These are critical questions to ask because they reveal whether his love is genuine or conditional. The truth is, a man who truly cares about you doesn't see your growth as a threat. He sees it as a gift. He knows that when you become the best version of yourself, it only enriches your relationship. His love is expansive, not restrictive, and it empowers you to soar rather than holding you back. This kind of partnership is powerful because it creates a dynamic of mutual respect and admiration. When you feel supported and respected, you're more likely to give the same in return. It's a beautiful cycle that deepens your connection and strengthens the foundation of your relationship. Let me ask you, is this the kind of love you're experiencing? If it is, you're incredibly fortunate to have someone who sees and values your potential. And if it's not, it's worth reflecting on whether your relationship is aligned with your long-term happiness. If this resonates with you, take a moment to like this video and comment number 1 below if you believe in love that nurtures and respects. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more powerful insights into creating the kind of relationships that truly fulfill you. Because at the end of the day, the right man doesn't just love who you are, he loves who you're becoming. He sees your growth as something to cherish, not to fear. And that, my friends, is the kind of love worth holding on to. 5. He is honest even when it's difficult. Honesty is one of the purest acts of love. When a man truly cares about you and envisions a future with you, he will value honesty as the cornerstone of your relationship. But here's the thing, honesty isn't always easy. It often demands courage, vulnerability, and a willingness to face uncomfortable truths. Yet, a man who truly loves you will choose honesty, even when it's hard. Have you ever been in a situation where someone told you what you wanted to hear instead of what you needed to know? At first, it might feel comforting, but eventually those little deceptions unravel. Lies, whether they're about big issues or small matters, chip away at trust, and once trust is broken, it's hard to rebuild. A man who genuinely loves you understands this. He knows that trust is fragile, and he won't jeopardize it for the sake of convenience or avoiding conflict. Being honest isn't just about telling the truth, it's about being transparent with his feelings, intentions, and actions. When he's upset, he'll communicate it openly instead of bottling it up or letting it fester. When he's struggling, he'll share his vulnerabilities instead of pretending everything is fine. And when he makes a mistake, he'll own it instead of deflecting blame or making excuses. This kind of honesty builds a foundation of mutual respect. When he's truthful with you, it gives you permission to be truthful with him. It creates a safe space where you can both be real, even when it's messy or uncomfortable. And that's where intimacy flourishes, not in perfection, but in the raw, unfiltered honesty of two people committed to growing together. Let's be clear. Honesty doesn't mean being harsh or unkind. It's not about tearing you down or using brutal honesty as an excuse to be cruel. A man who truly cares about you will always deliver the truth with compassion and respect. He'll think about how his words affect you, and he'll communicate in a way that strengthens your bond rather than harming it. For example, if there's something he's unhappy about in the relationship, he won't resort to passive-aggressive behavior or let resentment build. Instead, he'll approach the issue directly and calmly, focusing on finding a solution rather than assigning blame. Similarly, if he notices something that could help you grow, whether it's a constructive critique or a piece of advice, he'll share it thoughtfully, ensuring it comes from a place of love. Honesty also means he's not afraid to show his true self. He doesn't hide behind a facade or pretend to be someone he's not just to impress you. Instead, he lets you see him for who he really is, the good, the bad, and everything in between. This kind of vulnerability requires immense strength, and it shows just how much he trusts you. But here's the flip side. Honesty isn't always comfortable. It might challenge your perspective or push you out of your comfort zone. There will be moments when hearing the truth stings. For instance, if you're in a disagreement, he might tell you things you don't want to hear, but he'll do so with the intention of resolving the conflict, not escalating it. His honesty isn't about winning arguments, it's about fostering understanding and alignment. In those moments, it's essential to recognize the gift he's giving you. Honesty is a sign of respect. It shows that he values you enough to be real with you, even when it's difficult. He's not trying to manipulate you or shield you from the truth. He's inviting you into a deeper, more authentic connection. On the other hand, dishonesty often stems from fear. Fear of rejection, fear of confrontation, fear of losing control. But a man who truly loves you doesn't let fear dictate his actions. He chooses honesty because he knows it's the only way to build something lasting and meaningful. He understands that trust is earned, not given, and that every honest moment strengthens the foundation of your relationship. Now think about your relationship. Does the man in your life embody this kind of honesty? Does he tell you the truth even when it's not easy? Does he create a space where you feel comfortable being honest in return? These are crucial questions because honesty isn't just a nice to have in a relationship, it's a necessity. When a man prioritizes honesty, he's not just telling you that he loves you, he's showing it. His commitment to truth reflects his commitment to you. And in a world where deception is often easier than transparency, choosing honesty is one of the most profound ways to say, I care about you. So ask yourself, is this the standard you're holding in your relationships? Because honesty isn't just about him, it's about what you both bring to the table. And when you find a man who meets you with honesty and vulnerability, you've found someone who truly values the connection you share. That kind of love isn't just rare, it's transformative. 6. He respects your time and energy. Time is one of the most precious gifts we have to offer. And when a man truly cares about you, he respects your time and energy. He understands that both are finite and invaluable, and he doesn't take them for granted. A man who wants you in his life forever makes it a priority to honor your effort, reciprocate your energy, and show you through his actions that your contributions to the relationship matter deeply. How does this look in real life? Imagine this. You've spent a long day juggling work, family, and personal responsibilities, only to find your partner completely disengaged, making you feel like your efforts go unnoticed. Frustrating, isn't it? Now picture the opposite. A man who notices when you're tired, acknowledges all that you've done, and takes steps to lighten your load. This isn't just thoughtful, it's a reflection of deep respect for the energy you invest in your life and relationship. Respecting your time means he doesn't leave you waiting. Whether it's responding to your messages, showing up for plans, or being emotionally present during conversations, he values the moments you share. He's not someone who cancels on you last minute or forgets about important dates. Instead, he makes it clear that your time is just as important as his, and he treats it with care. But it goes deeper than punctuality or reliability. Respecting your energy means he's mindful of how much you give, and he doesn't take advantage of it. Relationships are about balance. A man who truly cares about you won't let the scales tip too far in one direction. He'll meet you halfway, ensuring that you never feel like you're carrying the weight of the relationship on your shoulders. Think about how draining it can be to constantly chase after someone's attention or validation. A man who respects your energy doesn't make you chase. He willingly puts in the effort to show he values you, eliminating the need for you to question his commitment. He understands that love isn't about making one person work harder than the other. It's about sharing the responsibility of building something meaningful together. This respect also extends to how he interacts with you when challenges arise. He won't dismiss your feelings or make you feel like you're overreacting. Instead, he'll take the time to listen, empathize, and find solutions together. He knows that emotional labor is a two-way street and will never expect you to bear it alone. Moreover, when he respects your time and energy, he encourages you to prioritize self-care and personal boundaries. He doesn't guilt you into spending every moment with him or demand that you sacrifice your needs for his. Instead, he supports your independence and understands that time apart can be just as important as time together. He values the whole person that you are, not just the version of you that's focused on the relationship. Let's bring this home with a critical question. Does the man in your life show this kind of respect for your time and energy? Does he make you feel like your contributions are acknowledged and appreciated, or does he leave you feeling drained and undervalued? These are the signs to look for, because a man who truly cares about you will never let you feel like your efforts are one-sided. When you find someone who respects your time and energy, you'll notice a powerful shift in how you feel within the relationship. You'll feel lighter, more balanced, and deeply valued. That's the kind of love that creates lasting happiness, not one that leaves you questioning whether you're giving too much or receiving too little. If this resonates with you, show your support by liking this video and commenting number 1 below to celebrate love that honors your time and energy. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more insights into creating and recognizing the relationships that truly nurture your soul. Because at the end of the day, respect is more than just a nice gesture. It's a reflection of how much someone truly values you. When a man respects your time and energy, he's saying, "You matter to me, and I'm here to build a relationship where we both thrive." That's the kind of love worth investing in. 7. He stays emotionally available during challenges. When life gets hard, the true strength of a relationship is revealed. A man who truly cares about you and envisions a lifetime together will not retreat into himself or distance himself when challenges arise. Instead, he'll remain emotionally available, ensuring that you feel supported and connected even in the toughest times. Challenges in life and relationships are inevitable, whether it's external pressures like work stress or personal hardships, or internal conflicts within the relationship. How a man responds during these moments speaks volumes about his commitment. A man who genuinely loves you will see these challenges as opportunities to grow together, not reasons to drift apart. He'll face difficulties head-on with you as a team. Being emotionally available means he's present not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. He listens with intent, ensuring you feel heard and validated, even when you're at your most vulnerable. When you share your fears, frustrations, or insecurities, he doesn't dismiss them or brush them aside. Instead, he creates a safe space for you to open up without judgment. Think about how rare that is. Many people, when faced with emotional intensity, shut down or distance themselves. But a man who truly cares knows that retreating during hardship only builds walls between you. He understands that his role isn't just to be there during the good times, but also to be a steady presence when things get difficult. This kind of emotional resilience is key to building a bond that lasts. This doesn't mean he has all the answers or can solve every problem. Emotional availability isn't about fixing, it's about being there, offering comfort, understanding, and support. It's holding your hand through uncertainty, being your sounding board when you need to vent, and reminding you that you don't have to face challenges alone. It's the quiet strength of knowing that no matter what, he's in your corner. But this also works both ways. His emotional availability creates a foundation for mutual vulnerability, allowing him to share his struggles with you as well. A man who loves you deeply will let you see the parts of him that he might hide from the rest of the world. He'll trust you with his fears, doubts, and insecurities, knowing that you'll respond with compassion and understanding. Emotional availability also means he doesn't avoid tough conversations. Conflicts and misunderstandings are a natural part of any relationship, but how they're handled can make or break the connection. A man who truly values you won't avoid confrontation out of fear or discomfort. Instead, he'll approach these moments with patience and a desire to resolve them in a way that strengthens the relationship. Consider this. When you argue or face a difficult situation together, does he withdraw or become defensive? Or does he stay present, engage with you, and work toward a solution? The latter is a clear sign of emotional availability and maturity. It shows that he values the relationship enough to navigate the discomfort of conflict rather than ignoring it or letting it fester. This emotional availability isn't just about responding to challenges. It's also about being proactive in creating emotional intimacy. He'll check in with you regularly, not just to ask how your day was, but to understand how you're truly feeling. He'll be attuned to your emotional needs, even when you're not explicitly expressing them. This level of care demonstrates that he's deeply invested in your well-being. When you find someone who stays emotionally available during challenges, you'll notice a profound difference in how you navigate life together. Problems no longer feel insurmountable because you're tackling them as a team. There's a sense of unity and trust that grows stronger with each obstacle you overcome. Ask yourself, does the man in your life show up emotionally when things get tough? Does he remain present, even when it's uncomfortable or inconvenient? These are the moments that reveal whether he's truly invested in building a lifelong partnership. Because at the heart of it all, emotional availability is about showing up, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. A man who does this is demonstrating a level of care and commitment that goes far beyond words. He's proving that he's in it for the long haul, no matter what life throws your way. And that is the kind of love that can weather any storm. 8. He makes you feel secure and valued. When a man truly cares about you and sees you as an integral part of his life forever, one of the most profound things he'll do is create a sense of security and make you feel genuinely valued. Love without security is fragile, and without feeling valued, a relationship can feel empty, no matter how much affection is shown. A man who truly loves you will ensure that you never have to question your place in his life. What does security look like in a relationship? It's more than just physical safety, it's emotional and mental safety, too. When you're with him, you feel safe to express your thoughts, your feelings, and even your fears. He doesn't make you second-guess yourself or feel like you're walking on eggshells. Instead, he reassures you through his words, his actions, and his consistent presence. Think about this. When you're around him, do you feel calm? Do you trust that he'll stand by you, not just in the good times, but also when things get tough? That trust is built on his ability to show up consistently, to communicate openly, and to handle conflicts with care rather than blame. A man who values you won't leave you wondering where you stand or whether you matter to him. He'll show you time and time again, through the way he makes you a priority. But feeling valued goes beyond reassurance. It's about the little things he does to let you know how much he appreciates you. When he genuinely values you, he notices your efforts and acknowledges them. He thanks you for the small things like the way you listen, the way you care, or the way you brighten his day. He doesn't take you for granted, and he's intentional about making you feel special. For example, if you've shared something you're passionate about, he doesn't dismiss it or pretend to care, he engages. He shows interest in the things that light you up because your happiness matters to him. He celebrates your wins no matter how small they might seem, and stands by you in your struggles without hesitation. This level of care often manifests in his attentiveness. He remembers the details about you, the way you like your coffee, your favorite song, or the way you get quiet when something's bothering you. He doesn't need grand gestures to prove his love. His attentiveness speaks volumes. He listens to you, not just to respond, but to understand. But security and value aren't just about how he treats you, they're also about how he integrates you into his life. A man who truly cares about you doesn't hide you from the important parts of his world. He introduces you to his friends, shares his goals and dreams with you, and includes you in decisions that matter. He shows you that you're not just a part of his present, but a key player in his future. So think about how this makes you feel. It's not about constant validation or grand romantic gestures. It's the quiet, steady reassurance that you are loved, valued, and irreplaceable. This kind of security allows you to relax into the relationship, knowing that you don't have to compete for his attention or question his loyalty. Let me ask you, does the man in your life make you feel this way? Does he actively show you that you're cherished and appreciated, not just in words but through meaningful actions? These are the markers of a love that's built to last. If this resonates with you, take a moment to like this video and comment number 1 below. It's a simple way to celebrate the kind of love that makes you feel secure and valued. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more insights into building relationships that truly nourish your soul. Because at the end of the day, love isn't about making you feel unsure or invisible. It's about lifting you up, protecting your heart, and showing you through every action that you are deeply valued. That's the kind of love you deserve, and the kind of love you should never settle for less than. 9. He embraces change for the right reasons. A man who truly cares about you doesn't resist growth. He embraces it, especially when it's driven by love, and a desire to build a stronger relationship. Change can be daunting, but for the right person, it becomes an opportunity for transformation. When a man sees a future with you, he's willing to adapt and evolve, not because you demand it, but because he wants to be the best version of himself for you and for the life you're building together. Think about how rare this is. Change is often one of the most challenging things for anyone to face. People naturally cling to routines and comfort zones, especially when they feel uncertain or vulnerable. But a man who truly loves you doesn't let fear hold him back. Instead, he views change as a chance to grow, not only for the relationship but also for his personal development. This kind of change is never forced. He doesn't change because he feels pressured to meet your expectations or because he's trying to earn your love. Instead, his transformation comes from a genuine place of self-awareness and a desire to align his actions with his feelings. For instance, if he recognizes that certain habits or behaviors are causing tension in the relationship, he takes it upon himself to address them. Not because you told him to, but because he values the connection you share and wants to nurture it. Let's be clear. This doesn't mean he loses his sense of self or becomes someone he's not. A man who embraces change for the right reasons doesn't compromise his identity, he enhances it. His growth isn't about erasing who he is, but about refining his character, strengthening his emotional intelligence, and becoming a better partner. He evolves, but he stays true to the core of who he is. Here's an example. Imagine he's someone who struggles with communication. Maybe in the past, he found it hard to open up or express his feelings. When he realizes how much it means to you and how much it strengthens your relationship, he makes a conscious effort to work on this area of his life. He might start initiating conversations, sharing his thoughts more openly, or even seeking advice on how to communicate better. This isn't about perfection, it's about progress, and every step he takes reflects his commitment to you. Change also applies to how he navigates conflict. If he used to shut down or avoid difficult conversations, you'll notice him trying to engage more thoughtfully and work through disagreements. He doesn't see challenges as threats, but as opportunities to grow closer and learn from each other. This willingness to adapt is a testament to how much he values the relationship and your happiness within it. But it's not just about big transformations, it's also about the small, everyday adjustments he makes to show you that he cares. Perhaps he starts remembering the little details that matter to you, or he makes an effort to be more present during your time together. These subtle shifts may seem minor, but they add up to a profound statement. I'm willing to grow because you're worth it. What's remarkable about this kind of change is that it's driven by love, not obligation. He doesn't view growth as a chore or a sacrifice, but as a natural extension of his affection for you. This aligns closely with the principles of Stoicism, where self-improvement and emotional discipline are seen as essential virtues. A man who genuinely loves you understands that personal growth enhances not only the relationship but also his ability to navigate life's challenges with strength and resilience. Reflect for a moment. Does the man in your life show this kind of willingness to grow and adapt? Does he embrace change with grace, knowing that it's part of building a lasting connection? These are the signs of a partner who's not just committed to the relationship, but also to becoming the best version of himself. At its core, embracing change is about love in action. It's not just saying, I care about you, but proving it through tangible efforts to align his actions with his intentions. And when a man does this, he's not just investing in the relationship, he's investing in a shared future that's brighter, stronger, and more fulfilling for both of you. 10. He invests in building long-term trust. Trust isn't just the foundation of a strong relationship, it's the glue that keeps everything together. Without it, even the most passionate love can crumble under the weight of doubt and insecurity. A man who truly cares about you and wants you in his life forever knows this, and he actively works to earn and maintain your trust over time. What does this look like? First and foremost, it's about consistency. Trust isn't built in a day, it's a series of small, intentional actions repeated over time. He says what he means and means what he says. If he promises to do something, you can count on him to follow through. He doesn't give you reasons to question his reliability because he understands that trust is as much about predictability as it is about honesty. But trust isn't just about keeping promises, it's also about transparency. A man who values your trust won't keep secrets or hide parts of his life from you. He'll share openly, not just the good stuff but also the hard truths. He knows that honesty, even when it's uncomfortable, strengthens the bond you share. By being vulnerable and authentic, he invites you to do the same, creating a relationship where trust flows both ways. Think about the security this brings. When you trust someone fully, you don't waste energy second-guessing their actions or intentions. You feel safe, not just physically but emotionally. A man who works to build this kind of trust isn't just protecting your heart, he's protecting the relationship as a whole. He recognizes that trust, once broken, can take years to rebuild, so he treats it with the care it deserves. Another important aspect of building trust is accountability. A man who truly cares about you doesn't pretend to be perfect. When he makes mistakes, and he will, because he's human, he owns up to them. He doesn't deflect blame or make excuses. Instead, he apologizes sincerely and works to make things right. This kind of accountability is rare but invaluable because it shows you that he's willing to grow and learn for the sake of the relationship. Trust also extends to how he handles conflict. Instead of resorting to manipulation, guilt, or avoidance, he approaches disagreements with respect and a genuine desire to resolve them. He listens to your concerns, acknowledges your feelings, and works with you to find solutions. His goal isn't to win the argument, but to strengthen the connection you share. But here's where it gets truly beautiful. A man who invests in long-term trust doesn't just focus on what happens between the two of you. He also cares about how others perceive your relationship. He's mindful of how his actions reflect on you, whether he's at work, with friends, or out in the world. He protects your reputation as much as his own, showing you that he values the life you're building together. Now, let's address something important. Trust is a two-way street. While he's putting in the effort to build and maintain it, you must also be willing to meet him halfway. Open communication, honesty, and vulnerability are just as crucial on your part as they are on his. Together, you create a dynamic of mutual respect and reliability, a partnership that's unshakable. Take a moment to reflect. Does the man in your life consistently show up in these ways? Does he prioritize building trust, not just as a concept, but as a daily practice? If the answer is yes, you're with someone who sees the long game. Someone who understands that trust isn't a destination, but a journey worth every step. If this resonates with you, take a moment to like this video and comment number 1 below to celebrate the power of trust in a relationship. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more insights into building the kind of love that stands the test of time. Because at the end of the day, love without trust is like a house built on sand. It can't withstand the storms. But when trust is at the foundation, the relationship becomes unshakable, no matter what life throws your way. That's the kind of love worth building, and that's the kind of love you deserve. As we come to the end of this exploration, one thing becomes crystal clear. When a man truly cares about you and wants you in his life forever, he doesn't leave room for doubt. His actions, his words, and his consistency all align to show you just how much he values you. He commits himself to building a foundation of love, trust, and mutual respect, a partnership that isn't just about today, but about every tomorrow you'll share. These 10 qualities we've uncovered are not just ideals, they are the markers of a healthy, fulfilling relationship. They're proof that love isn't about settling for crumbs of affection or chasing someone who makes you question your worth. Instead, it's about sharing a connection with someone who actively chooses you every single day. But here's the truth. Recognizing these qualities is only the first step. The real power lies in understanding what you deserve and refusing to accept anything less. So, as you reflect on what we've discussed, ask yourself, does the relationship you're in or the one you're seeking reflect these principles? Are you building a love that thrives on trust, respect, and emotional intimacy? If the answer is yes, cherish it. If not, know that you have the power to seek and create a love that does. because you deserve a partner who values your growth, respects your boundaries, makes you feel secure, and builds trust for the long haul. If this video has inspired you or given you clarity about love and relationships, take a moment to show your support. Like this video, comment number 1 below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. By doing so, you're not just joining a community, you're stepping into a space where love, growth, and authenticity are celebrated. Thank you for spending your time here, for reflecting deeply, and for investing in yourself and your relationships. Here's to finding or building a love that truly lasts. Until next time, take care of yourself and the incredible heart you have to offer.